Hello, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm your host, Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thank you for joining us. Hey, listen, we preach all the time here about being the lawful and responsible gun owner. We say the only way to ensure that that happens is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself in. And so, in light of that, let's today talk about all the places that you can't take a firearm in Washington State. Hey, before we get rolling, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button down below. If you want to keep updated on Washington gun laws or anything related to your Second Amendment rights, go ahead and click on the subscribe button down below. Remember, you can always follow Washington Gun Law on Facebook or Twitter. Our links are down there in the description box, or of course, you can always visit us at washingtongunlaw.com. So today we're going to be talking about all the places in Washington State where you cannot take a firearm. And in many of these instances, these restrictions apply to anybody, whether you have a concealed carry permit or you do not. The only exceptions would be for law enforcement, federal marshals, and certain members of the United States military. But for all general public members, the following restrictions apply. First of all, let's talk about what you can and cannot do with a concealed pistol license. Now, the advantage to having a concealed pistol license in Washington State is twofold. Number one, you can carry the firearm concealed on your person. And perhaps equally as important is with a concealed pistol license, you can carry the firearm in your automobile loaded. RCW 9.41.050 makes it very clear that the only people who are allowed to carry a firearm concealed on their person or loaded in their automobile are those who possess a valid concealed carry permit, and that concealed carry permit must be with you at all times that you are in fact carrying. Now, under Washington law, if it is discovered that you have a concealed pistol on your person and you do not have a concealed pistol license, you can be found guilty of a Class 1 civil infraction, fined in an amount up to $1,000. However, if it is discovered that you have a pistol or a handgun in your automobile which is loaded and you do not possess a valid CPL, the punishment is a simple misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Now, let's talk about some of the places where firearms are restricted no matter what your concealed carry license status is. For example, RCW 9.41.280 makes it very clear that firearms are not permitted anywhere on public or private elementary or secondary schools, including any property thereof, including transportation to those schools. A violation of this subsection is actually a gross misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. If a person is convicted of possessing a firearm on a school ground and they can possess a concealed pistol license, that concealed pistol license will be revoked for a period of 3 years. If a person is convicted of this offense, they will be ineligible to even apply for a concealed pistol license for 3 years following the date of their conviction. Now, this same statute does have a couple of important exceptions to it. The first is found in subsection C, which specifically states that any person who's in possession of a valid concealed pistol license and is possessing the firearm during the limited time where they are either dropping the student off or picking them up is exempt from this law. The law also is exempt from any person who's at least 18 years of age, who is lawfully in possession of a firearm in an intended vehicle, or who leaves the firearm secured in an unattended vehicle in a place where it is concealed from view, so long as they are conducting legitimate business at the school. And finally, RCW 9.41.280 was the genesis of what we now call gun-free zones. And the statute actually mandates that all elementary, secondary educational facilities post that prominently on their properties. Another restriction is found in RCW 9.41.282, which specifically states that it is unlawful for a person to carry a firearm onto or to possess on a licensed child care center premises, child care center provided transportation, or areas of facilities while being used exclusively by a child care center. RCW 9.41.282 also mandates that all child care facilities be deemed gun-free zones, and that signs be posted prominently displaying such. Several other restrictions as to where you can possess a firearm are also found in RCW 9.41.300. And these again pertain to everyone regardless of your CPL status. Firearms under this statute are prohibited from being possessed anywhere in a jail or law enforcement facility or any place which is being used as a jail or confinement facility. The same statute also restricts possessing a firearm at all courthouses, including any building which are used in connection with court proceedings, including courtrooms, jury rooms, judges' chambers, offices, and areas used to conduct court business, waiting areas, and corridors adjacent to areas used in connection with court proceedings. Now, what's interesting about the restrictions to court facilities is the same statute, RCW 9.41.300, specifically requires court facilities to make available the opportunity and the infrastructure necessary for people to carry their firearms to the security checkpoint and then check the firearm in before entering the court facility. In fact, the statute specifically reads, in addition, the local legislative authority shall provide either a stationary lockbox sufficient size for pistols and key to a weapon owner for weapon storage, or shall designate an official to receive weapons for safekeeping during the owner's visit to the restricted areas of the building. The lockbox or designated official shall be located within the same building used in connection with court proceedings. The local legislative authority shall be liable for any negligence causing damage to or loss of a weapon either placed in a locked box or left with an official during the owner's visit to the restricted areas of the building. So as you can see, while firearms are clearly prohibited in court proceedings, all courthouses on the state level must make available to all people attending the ability to check in firearms at the security checkpoint. Subsection C of the same statute also prohibits the possession of firearms in any restricted area of a public mental health facility licensed or certified by the Department of Health for inpatient hospital care and state institutions for the care of the mentally ill, excluding those facilities solely for the evaluation and treatment. And finally, and very unique to Washington, under RCW 9.41.300 subsection D, firearms are prohibited in any area which is designated for age 21 and over. Now, this includes some of the obvious bars, cocktail lounges, taverns, and such, but it also includes all of Washington's cannabis stores. Also, RCW 9.41.300 subsection E restricts the possession of firearms in the restricted areas of commercial service airports designated in the Airport Security Plan and approved by the Federal Transportation Security Administration, including passenger screening checkpoints at or beyond which the passenger initiates the screening process. Or as we are commonly known, any area in which TSA is security checking you, no firearms are permitted whatsoever. It's very important if you are traveling with a firearm that goes into check baggage. If you want to learn more about that, you can actually check out the video on flying with firearms. We put the link down below in the description box for you as well. Well, I hope that helps you better understand all the restrictions you have in places where you cannot possess a firearm regardless of your CPL status. Listen, you may have some more questions, and if you do, that's fine. Don't ever hesitate to contact us. You can reach out to us at washingtongunlaw.com. You can email me directly, william@washingtongunlaw.com, or of course you can call us directly, 425-765-0487. Listen, like we always say, part of being the responsible and lawful gun owner is knowing what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in every instance you may find yourself in. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.